Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to CLT show number 2. I apologize for the delay. I am a couple days late with this. I had a really busy weekend. Plus, I'm going to tell my story of my huge anxiety attack today. So, CLT show is where I help you create your reality into your dream life with stories from my life that have helped me grow, and then steps that you can take away to accelerate your own growth and success. So, my story is my huge anxiety attack last week where I literally had to pull my car over because it was too much. And then I'm going to summarize with a few steps that I'm taking to ensure this does not happen again. So briefly, I want to talk about what happened last week, and I kind of briefly talked about this mastermind that was happening and how now I just want to explain how powerful it was to be a part of. So there was 3 parts. The first was an opening ceremony where they all made their cacao and they all meditated and had a talked about future pacing. And future pacing is pretty much talking your dream into reality by making a video that you pretend you're in your dream already, where you want to be. You pretend in 90 days from now you say exactly, oh, I'm so excited, I've just reached my goal and this is how I'm going to celebrate. You pretty much explain that, and then you watch that every single day to catapult your reality, your perfect day into reality. How good does that sound? So day 1, they talked about how ordinary people do extraordinary things and how we have a new way of doing business, and it focuses on you and then uses skills that can be replicated again and again. We also talked about how to tap into your manifestation powers. So, like I mentioned before, your future pace video, super powerful. And then to add on that, there's a 5 senses goal. So this is where you tune in while you're making your future pace video. How does it feel when you're there? What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? Really tune in to how you are feeling, because our brains remember emotions and feelings. That's what we remember and latch on to. So the more real you can make your dream reality, the more you can make it believable, the more you're going to believe it. And then it's just going to become a reality, because once your thoughts become your beliefs, which become your habits, which become your reality. That's just life. And then thirdly, we talked about who do you need to become? Who's the person in your future pace video? 90 days from now, who is that person? How are they acting? How are they showing up? How are they speaking? Talk your dream into reality. And then we also talked about, Carina explained this hair elastic trick and how to rewire your brain. So every time you think of a negative thought or your brain starts putting pity on yourself or anything, snap it. This is going to train your brain, because every time you hear a bad thought come up, you're going to give yourself a little bit of pain. That's going to trigger your brain to stop coming up with those thoughts, because it knows that it leads to pain. It's uncomfortable. Okay, so that's a really good one. I'm going to try to do that. And then day 2, it was really powerful. We really went into the business. So there's 3 main things. Again, we talked about core pillars of personal branding. How with this business, we get to celebrate who we are. We get to celebrate and show our unique personality. We get to share our authentic message. Isn't that cool? You just get to be yourself, share your message, and get paid for it. I love it. Secondly, we talked about our high-ticket products and how they help us, help others, and help the world. How we spread health online, and this really aligns with my values. I only want to work for a business if it's doing positive to the world and to myself and to others and to the planet. This aligns with my values. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And then also we talked about how it can lead to legacy income, because this business is rad. And then lastly, we talked about automation and how we have a platform that does all the heavy lifting of a traditional business. It even does our sales calls for us. Amazing. And then also how it contains the knowledge required to create your business into a 6- and 7-figure income. all the information you actually need. It's right there. If you want to know more, if you're interested, just hit me up below. Drop a comment, drop freedom below, and I'll send you a message and we can chat more. Back to my story. So, huge anxiety attack. Oh my gosh. So, it was day 1 of the launch, which was this mastermind that I just explained. It was like building up to it. It was day 1. I wanted to post about it. I wanted to share with the people that I knew, all my friends. I wanted to share this opportunity with them. So I was really determined to get a post up. But I also worked a full shift. I worked like 8 to 5. So I got ready for work, but I didn't have enough time to get a post up. I got to work and I tried to use like all my spare time to get a post up. But then this messed up my whole day. I was using all my spare moment to get my post up that I should have been using that spare time to get my list checked off of my actual job, my employee job that I'm at. This put me way behind at my actual job, like the job that I'm doing, just because I was trying to work on my freedom lifestyle, my job, my business work. It messed with my mind. It literally seemed like both sides of my brain were in like a fist fight. It was too much to handle because like my freedom brain was trying to mix with my employee brain. Those two don't go together. So I made the decision until I can decide to quit this job, I need to keep these separate times of the day. They do not belong together. They're 2 different identities. It's like identity crisis inside my brain. Oh my gosh, I got off work and I was just exhausted. That's when the anxiety hit and I was like, what is this from? Why am I feeling so emotional and crazy right now? I had to pull the car over and have a little cry because I didn't understand. It wasn't until like later on while I was laying in bed that I realized I don't really remember what happened during the day. Like, who even came into my work? Like, who did I actually talk to? I was so focused on my business and getting a post up that my whole day was like a blur. I didn't like it. I felt so disconnected and lost. I felt so overwhelmed. So overwhelmed. I realized that being in the present moment is so powerful. So the steps I'm taking to make sure that this doesn't happen again, not that extreme. Yes, anxiety is natural. You get a little bit of anxiety, but not like a full-on panic attack as you're driving home from work. So 3 steps that I'm taking. The first one, I wrote out, what can I do better when I'm present? Secondly, you can take a 2-minute meditation before entering or beginning anything. Okay, what's my intention going to be with this job? Or I'm going into an activity. What's my intention? What do I plan to get from this before? And just taking a breath before you go in, being focused on that one goal. And that leads us to step 3. Do one task at a time. Our brains can only do one thing at a time. It is science proven. If you're trying to multitask, your brain is just swapping back and forth and back and forth. That's too much. Just do one thing, finish it, then move on to the next. If you can't finish that thing, make a note of where you're at, like put it to bed for a night and then go to your other task. And when you have time, then go back to it. Don't try to have a bunch of things open at once. It just causes confusion. Also, it slows you down and makes all the quality of your work decrease. I'd rather spend a little bit of time getting one task really done, very good, and then moving on to the next, rather than trying to do 2 things at once, which are probably going to both end up poorly or not as good. So I actually wrote out what I can do better. These are a few things of me personally, what I can do better when I'm present. Just present in the moment. I can compliment people. I can offer or receive advice. I can practice explaining my business to people. I can come up with metaphors and ideas for posts. I can reflect on how I'm feeling. I can dance around and be happy. I can draw pictures. I can make people laugh. I can inspire someone. I can teach someone something. I can appreciate art. I can appreciate people's knowledge and skills. I can come up with new systems for work. I can do the best job that I can. I can look at screens less. I can smile more. I can laugh more. I can create more, and I can move more. Doesn't that sound like a better life to you? It sounds like a better life to me. My big takeaway from this video for you: please stay in the present moment. Now is all we have. There's nothing else. You don't even know if you get another minute after this. Wouldn't you prefer to just be present and experience life for what it has right now? Thank you guys so much. Go out there and create your reality.